If you are the type who easily gets tired, don't bother going into fashion designing. If you are the type who easily gives up, don't bother going into fashion designing. And to crown it all, if you do not have a passion for it at all, don't even bother yourself going into fashion designing because it is going to test your patience. Hey guys, it's JJ here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're seeing this face for the very first time, it's JJ here, and on this channel we do everything fashion tips, lifestyle vlogs, and chit chats. So last week someone DM'd me on Instagram asking which is better between a fashion school and a tailor shop, and that's because I had earlier mentioned in one of my videos, the comeback video actually, that one of the reasons I couldn't post on the channel for the past 2 years was because I'd been to a fashion school. And when this person asked this question, it made me wonder if there are also some people out there who have the same question running through their mind. And that is what we are going to be addressing today. So if you've also had this question in your mind, so you definitely want to keep on watching this video as I give you all the tea based off of a first-hand experience. So let's get started. So guys, if you see me looking down, that's because I'm looking at the point I've written down in order for me not to forget. Now in this video, we are going to be focusing on beginners. And when I say beginners, we have two types of beginners. We have beginners who are newbies to fashion designing. They know nothing about fashion designing. And we have beginners who already know one or two things about fashion designing, but they are still beginners. And as beginners, whether you are looking forward to acquiring your skill, your fashion designing skill from a tailor shop or a fashion school, there are important things you should be taught. And that is, you should be taught how to pedal a machine, sew straight lines, take accurate body measurements, and read your tape measure accurately. I started learning fashion designing in a tailor shop, and when I started learning, I learned how to pedal a machine for good 2 weeks straight up. Yes, I'm not even kidding you. The only thing I did for the first 2 weeks was pedaling a machine and sewing straight lines. You understand? So as a beginner, you must know how to pedal a machine and sew straight lines. You must also know how to take accurate body measurements because that's the bedrock of everything. If you want to sew clothes for anyone or even yourself, you should know how to take your own or your client's accurate body measurement. There are two things you must have when starting out as a beginner. Number one thing is passion. Yes, I said what I said. Passion. Have you got passion for fashion designing? You should ask yourself that, because trust me, if you do not have a passion for fashion designing, don't even bother at all. Take it from me. Fashion designing is going to test your patience. Yes, it's going to test how patient you are. That is fashion designing for you. If you want to acquire any skill at all, you should have a passion for whatever skill you want to acquire. But because in this video we are talking fashion designing, so I'm going to be making reference to fashion designing. So you should have a passion for fashion designing. If you do not have a passion for fashion designing, in the long run you are going to discover that you get frustrated, unhappy, you don't derive joy from what you're doing, you just want to give up easily. I have a friend who used to go to a tailor shop to learn fashion designing, and she spent a whole 6 months, and she came out after that 6 months not knowing how to sew a pencil skirt. And that's because she did not have a passion for fashion designing. She was just going to the tailor shop just to leave home. Just wanted to leave home. She wasn't going because, oh my goodness, I'm so happy I'm going to learn today. I'm so happy that I'm going to learn this today. You know, she wasn't deriving joy. She said every time our boss would be teaching them things, it would be as if she was the most dumb person amongst, the students. And it's not as if she was dull or something. It's just because, she didn't have passion for whatever it is she was learning. She didn't have passion for fashion designing. She just was leaving her house just to leave her house. So please don't just leave your house because you want to leave your house. Make sure that you have a passion for fashion design. As much as I derive joy from sewing, from fashion design, there are times that I just feel, even though I have a passion for it, there are times I just feel, oh my goodness, I don't just want to do this today. I just want to go and sleep. I just want to go. I don't just want to touch this clothes. How much more a person who does not have a passion for it and just wants to go and learn it. Don't just go and learn or acquire a skill because a friend of yours is acquiring the skill. Don't just go and learn something because a friend of yours is learning it. Your path might be different in life. Our paths, in fact, our paths are different in life. So choose your own path and let your path choose you. The second important thing you should consider is the financial aspect of it. Yes, you should consider the financial aspect of, a tailor shop or a fashion school, because trust me, a fashion school is way more expensive than a tailor shop. It goes beyond the school fees, because some people think the only thing you need to take to a fashion school is your school fees, and once you take your school fees, you are all done. No, that is incorrect. You must have enough money in order for you to be able to go to a fashion school, because there are practicals, there are some things you are going to buy, appliques and all. There are just so many things you also need to take along with you to a fashion school. Now let's talk time frame. And when I say time frame is the duration in which you learn, and the time frame in a tailor shop is way more higher than the time frame in a fashion school. In some fashion schools, they do 3 months for their beginners course, while they do 6 months from the beginners course all through to the advanced level. While in some fashion schools, they do 5 months from the beginners class all through to the advanced class. In my own case, the fashion school I went, they do 5 months from the beginners class all through to the advanced class. While in a tailor shop, they do 6 months, they do 1 year, or even a year and a half, depending on you, depending on what you want. Now, one thing you should ask yourself is, am I the type who easily assimilates things, who easily grasps things, who easily understands things? And that's the first question you should ask yourself once you have a passion and then you have your money at hand. So you should ask yourself, do I assimilate things on time? If you are the type who assimilates things on time, you've made your findings about a fashion school, and you're sure that they teach well, they give you value for your money, then why not pack your things and go to a fashion school? But if you are the type who does not assimilate things on time, everyone cannot be the same. We are different when it comes to learning. Even if you are twins, you might find out that Taye is quick to assimilate things than Kende. So you shouldn't beat yourself up for it. You should know what works for you and do what works for you. So if you are the type who does not easily assimilate things, I wouldn't advise you go to a fashion school. Trust me, take it from me, I'm telling you, I wouldn't advise you go to a fashion school. And that is because of the time frame. The time frame does not permit them to teach you for a long period of time, because you are working with a timetable. You are working with a time duration. Let's say for 3 days you have to learn how to make a pencil skirt, and in those 3 days you still don't know how to sew a pencil skirt. They're not going to wait for you. They're not going to say, let's assume, okay, let's say Bingbe. They're not going to say, oh, Bingbe still does not know how to sew a pencil skirt, so we must wait for her. No. They're not going to say that. They're going to move on to another topic. Can I work with this short period of time I have? That is, if you are going to a fashion school, can I learn whatever it is I want to learn within this short period of time? You should ask yourself that question before paying into any fashion school. Another thing you should do before going to a fashion school or a tailor shop is make thorough findings. Do these people give value for money? There are some tailor shops who collect your money and teach you nothing. And we also have the same thing about fashion schools. They collect your money without teaching you anything, and they tell themselves, after all, I've collected that money, I've collected his money, so it's not my business if he learns or not. And they don't care. They don't really care. They've collected your money, so they don't care about you. If you learn, fine. If you don't learn, fine. So ask yourself, this fashion school or this tailor shop I'm going, do they give value for money? In a tailor shop, because of the time frame, you are able to practice so many things. You're able to do so many things on your own. Whereas in a fashion school, you've been given an assignment, you've been given a pattern to draft. One time exactly do you want to have to even try things on your own? One time exactly do you want to have to, like, maybe relearn whatever it is that you've not been able to assimilate? Because trust me, fashion school is very stressful. Fashion school is not for the faint-hearted at all. I'm going to insert a picture of me before I went to fashion school and a picture of me after fashion school. So for you to know that fashion school is not for the faint-hearted at all, you must be willing to to stretch yourself. You must be willing to go above and beyond when planning to attend a fashion school. A tailor shop, because you have enough time, you have an ample amount of time to learn whatever it is you want to learn. You are not as stressed as when you go to a fashion school. And in a tailor shop, when clients bring clothes for your boss, that is a boss who is willing to teach a student whatever it is they've paid for. He or she is going to call you to come see whatever she's cutting. Let's say she's cutting a 6 pieces here, she's going to call you, or he is going to call you to come see whatever it is he or she is cutting. Whereas in a fashion school, they don't want you to know their secrets. Their production room is different from where they teach you, where you learn. So they're not going to want to cut a client clothes and call you to say, oh, come and see, I'm cutting this client clothes, come and see what I'm cutting. It's not possible. It's not, imagine yourself being in the university and a lecturer is calling you to come see the project is working on, or the topic is planning on teaching you. It's not possible. Their production room is different from their lecture room. But in my own fashion school, the production room was not different from the learning room, but it was not every time our boss was cutting a client clothes that she would call us and say, come see what I'm cutting, this is what I'm cutting, this is why this line is here, this is why this line is here. Whereas in a tailor shop where they teach value for money, they are going to tell you everything they are doing. This is why this line is here, this is why this curve is here, this is why I'm cutting this. Okay, go and try that, go and sew a client clothes. In a fashion school, because they have a brand name to protect, they're not going to give you a client clothes to go and make. In a tailor shop, they're giving you client clothes to make, and you don't want to spoil the client clothes. You understand? You are being extremely careful. So that alone gives you, some level of confidence, so that when eventually you are on your own and the client brings a cloth to you, you are not scared because you've been sewing client clothes. You understand what I'm saying? So if you're the type who does not easily assimilate things, I would suggest you go to a tailor shop. But if you know you are up to the task, you can, go through the stress, you have the financial capability, why not go to a fashion school? Because in a fashion school, one of the things I love about fashion school is the fact that they teach with pattern. And do not get me wrong, I'm not saying freehanders are bad fashion designers. I'm not saying that. What I'm just trying to say is that, when they teach you pattern, whatever mistake you want to make, you are making it on the pattern. Whatever correction you need to make, you are making it on the pattern before transferring to a fabric, before transferring to the main fabric. Whereas if you are a freehander and you make a mistake on the client clothes, the main fabric, the first thing that comes to your mind is how to rectify it. And God help you, the fabric is very expensive. And you don't even have that money to go to the market to get the fabric. So what are you going to do? And that is why it is always advisable to use a pattern before transferring to a fabric. You do all your fittings on the pattern, you do all your corrections, all the style, you draw out your style line on the pattern. And that is why I love pattern. So I'm not saying freehanders are battlers. I've seen some freehanders who are even more good than people who even use pattern. Wherever you find yourself, whether you go to a fashion school or a tailor shop, don't wait till your boss arrives till you try out something yourself. Wherever you find yourself, be proactive, be efficient in whatever you are doing. So whether you find yourself going to a fashion school or a tailor shop, it also depends on you. Are you willing to learn? Are you teachable? You must be willing to learn. You must be willing to go above and beyond. So I wouldn't say a tailor shop is better than a fashion school, and I wouldn't say a fashion school is better than a tailor shop, because there are some fashion schools who don't teach you nothing at the end of the day. There was one time that we wanted to have a program in church, and this girl who had gone to a fashion school came to meet me, and there was a design we're supposed to sew. So this girl came to meet me and said, I don't know how to make this kind of sleeve. And I was so surprised. I asked, didn't you go to a fashion school? She said, yes, I went to a fashion school, but then they didn't teach us how to make this type of sleeve. And that's one of the disadvantages of the time frame in a fashion school, because they are working with a short amount of time. So they don't have the time to teach you everything. It's not as if they also teach you everything in a tailor shop, but you can imagine clients are bringing clothes for them to sew. They are bringing different designs and they are calling you to come see what they are making. So with that, you are learning more. Whereas in a fashion school, you are restricted to whatever course outline you have. You are restricted to that. So whether you choose to go to a fashion school or a tailor shop, just make sure that whatever fashion school or tailor shop you are attending, make sure that they give you value for your money. Make your thorough findings before paying into any fashion school or tailor shop. Another thing I would like you to know is that fashion designing is a process. Don't expect to know everything at a time. Don't expect to know everything. Don't expect to learn everything at a time. You learn on the job. And that is why it's important to keep practicing, keep trying out your hands on designs, and the sky is only your starting point. I hope this video has been helpful. If it has, please give it a huge thumbs up, comment down below. If you have any other question for me, please do feel free to leave it down for me in the comment section, and I will try my best to answer all your questions. Also, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on your post notifications so you get to be notified each time I put up a new video. Until my next video, stay blessed, stay safe, and stay beautiful as always. Bye.